Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tips with Tony's Topic Tuesdays. I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time. I am a proud business owner of Diet Tips with Tony MSRD LLC, where I provide online nutrition counseling for those who are looking to achieve their health goals. They're not looking for a quick fix. They're looking for a long-term success. They've done all the different fad diets, and now they just really want to stay true to their goals. So that's really what I specialize in with my one-on-one counseling. And in addition to that, I also do these group talks each week, and that's to educate you about various nutrition topics. Hello. Let me know that you can hear me on Facebook, Instagram. Those on Instagram, I do look at my Facebook camera just because it helps me to download it and then upload it onto my website, www.tipswithtony.com. Just type in a comment, I can hear you, just so I know that we can get started. Hey! All right, awesome. Great, so some housekeeping stuff. If you have not already subscribed to the Tips with Tony podcast, please do so. And if you like it, write a review, give it a rating, a nice 5 rating would be awesome. In addition, you can like and subscribe to the Gymwits podcast. It would be really awesome if you did that. This week on the Tips with Tony podcast, it is all about finding your why for weight loss. A lot of us go about losing weight and we lose sight of that and fall off track and we're not consistent, and finding your why is really the key to staying motivated. So that's what the Tips with Tony episode is about this week, and the Gymwits episode is all about the ketogenic diet. So if you're considering going ketogenic, please listen to it. There's a lot of information. It's like a 45-minute plus episode of all the stuff you would need to know if you do choose to go that route. Hello! Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'm excited for tonight's topic. It's actually not 100% nutrition related, and it's because I deal with this on a day-to-day basis with my clients. Is a lot of times, we kind of know what to eat, but when we eat and why we eat and where we eat are a lot more important than just what we're eating. And developing healthy habits and behaviors and routines, it's a lot more. It's like actually the driving force to our food choices. And I believe in developing healthy habits and behaviors to help set you up for success when it comes to your food choices. So I'm going to talk about things that might not seem like it has anything to do with what you eat, but it actually makes a huge, huge difference in your overall health, and it will help dictate what you decide to eat as well. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I love it. All right, so I think the first thing we're going to talk about, I have about 9 to 10, I think, different behaviors and routines that you can modify. I always start by saying that you can't expect to change behavior overnight. It is a practice, something to pay attention to. Some of these things I'm going to talk about you might already be doing. Other things you might just need the reminder. Maybe something else is just like, I'm not ready for that. Just listen for now, and at the end, I'm going to kind of challenge you to pick 1 or 2 things that you're going to want to work on that's going to, believe it or not, help you so much more than it might seem. These little 5-minute things that we do are really going to make a huge impact, all right? So let's get started. I think many of you, if you follow me on Instagram, you see my stories every morning, and every morning I wake up and I have a morning routine and I do my workout and I give you a little glimpse of other things that I do. Well, tonight I'm going to give you a little bit more detail about what that morning routine looks like in hopes for you to start learning that it's so, so important to develop a morning routine. Before you do that, though, you also need to learn how to wake up without feeling tired. And I do it every single morning, and I'm so grateful, and I'm going to teach you who taught me how to do it. And I think you're going to find huge, huge success with this. And I really hope that you all can find ways to wake up early without feeling tired. Because if we wake up early and we're tired, we're not going to be productive. But if we wake up early with energy, then we can be productive. So this is one habit and routine I want you to get started to do is number one, waking up, try to wake up around the same time every day. What will make it easier for you to wake up at the same time every day is going to bed at the same time every night. But if that's too hard, let's just focus on getting up in the morning at the same time every day. Now, the trick to doing that is, I'm going to tell you a secret. It's what I learned how to do, which is using the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. It's a wonderful audiobook, or you can get the paperback. I recommend the audio just because you can get through it faster and you can hear what Mel Robbins has to say. You could also YouTube Mel Robbins and subscribe to her YouTube channel and learn about it that way. But the 5-second rule is basically this. The second your alarm goes off, you're going to say to yourself, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And like an astronaut, you're going to shoot out of your bed. You're not hitting the snooze button because every time you hit the snooze button, your productivity decreases by 40%. So your likelihood of going to the gym or getting the laundry done like you wanted to or doing the task that you put in front of you for throughout the day, it's not happening. So when it comes to eating or healthier or cooking healthier, those things probably aren't going to happen either because you're already at a decreased productivity rate. So when you wake up without hitting that snooze button and getting up and out of the bed when you're supposed to, you will help yourself so much, and your energy, you don't even understand. Like, I have a solid, steady, great amount of energy, and I would say probably at 3 o'clock, I think we all kind of hit that low. But until then, like, I'm productive and I'm doing really good job. I think I could fall back to sleep in 5 seconds. Yeah, you usually can, but the idea is that you don't let yourself. So another thing to do is to, hi Sabrina, thanks for tuning in, everyone. The other thing that you can do is put your phone, so like my alarm clock is my phone, so I put my phone actually on my desk, and you see my bed behind me, so I have to literally get up to turn the alarm off. The second that I do that, I do not go back into the bed, I go straight into the bathroom and I brush my teeth. Okay, so that's just the beginning of a morning routine, and when I tell you your energy levels and your mood and everything you do to go about your day is going to be improved, it's going to be improved. I mean, think about it. If you get up at the same time every day and you're leaving, let's say, an hour or 2 hours before you even have to technically start your day, so before you even have to prepare breakfast and do all those things, and you have those 2 hours to meditate, write in your journal, listen or read some sort of personal development, maybe prepare your breakfast. So you just have time to think. You have to think about how much our day is consumed by work and kids and family and life and social media and whatever it is, that if the first thing we do when we wake up is go straight to our work and to our email, we will never have our own time, our time to think about our goals, think about what we have to get done. And having that morning routine is so important for your health and success. Okay, it is something that I started this year, and it's absolutely life-changing. So I encourage you all to try it out. And if you have not read the 5-second rule, listen to the 5-second rule. Another good book is Miracle Morning. That could help get you up and out of the bed early because it gives you some guidelines to kind of follow. All right. Okay, so another habit and behavior that I think is really important, we know exercise, right, is important. We have to, I think setting a time the same time that you exercise. But I'm trying to give you guys ideas that are kind of outside of the box. So other than just exercising more or sticking to a time, like I think if you stick to, there's usually no great best time to work out, but the best time is the one that you can stick to. So if you work out every day at 7 a.m., eventually that becomes habit. It's like when you wake up, your alarm goes off and you go and you brush your teeth. That's habit. You don't even think about it. It's not it's like second nature. The same thing can happen with exercise, but it takes a lot of time and repetitive times for you to kind of get through to it. But in addition to that, just moving more and sitting less. So I think a good example of this is like if before you sit down, like you get home from work, before you sit down, go for a walk. So if your habit and behavior is you come home, you put your stuff down, and you directly go to the couch, or you directly go to cook dinner, or whatever it is that you do that's not health related, those are the moments where we have to think about, okay, before I put my stuff down and lay down, maybe I should just do a quick walk around the block. Or maybe at lunchtime, before you decide to eat your lunch, maybe you do a quick walk around the block and then sit down and eat your lunch. These are little things. You have to find the pockets throughout your day where you can kind of start to incorporate those other strategies kind of throughout your day to get yourself up and moving, because the more you move, the better you are. In America, we're so sedentary. Sitting really is becoming the new smoking. It is that bad for our health. It's unfortunately that's the way our society is created. I'm with you guys. Like, I exercise pretty regularly. I'm pretty active, but to be honest, that hour and a half maximum of my day is a small fraction of the amount of sitting that I do at my desk every single day with counseling patients and clients, and then coming home and running my own practice and doing it again. So, we have to find little pockets in our day to kind of offset that. And it's a mindset and it's a behavior that is something that we have to pay attention to. All right. So another thing that when it comes to behavior that I think is really helpful with you attaining your health goals is writing down your food and keeping track of your food. That behavior of putting pen to paper, whether it's before you eat or after you eat, it gets you thinking and it gets you to recognize certain eating patterns. So if you have a behavior of automatically, say for example, after dinner, you automatically go for sweets, and that's just kind of a learned behavior. It's like, you eat dinner, okay, now where's something sweet? If you now have to write that down, it kind of forces you to think about it. And whether you choose to decide to continue that behavior and have something sweet, maybe you think about, okay, maybe I don't need cake, or maybe I don't need cookies or ice cream, maybe a piece of fruit will suffice, or maybe I don't need to, especially if you start to track the calories and the protein and the fat and the sugar and you start to see what's in it, then you really are like, okay, maybe I don't need a full cup and a half of ice cream for 400 calories when I just had dinner. Like, these are things that you start to learn and recognize, but unless you're tracking it, that's a behavior that it really is going to only help you to cultivate change. That's really important. Another behavior, planning ahead. So now you're tracking it, now we can plan ahead. And now I don't even just mean planning your food. Sometimes meal prep, meal planning, it's overwhelming for people, but I just mean like the basics, like, okay, on Sundays I'm doing laundry. On Mondays I'm mailing out all these things that I have to mail out. Like, taking care of your responsibilities and feeling kind of productive in a way that builds up that confidence where it's like, okay, listen, that stuff's taken care of. Now let me focus on my nutrition and focus on my exercise regimen. Or planning when you're going to exercise and when you're going to eat healthier, when you're going to do your grocery shopping. Like, these are all little things that seem insignificant, but at the end of the day, if you have this meal plan or you have this healthy diet plan in your head and you're not doing anything else around your life to kind of cultivate that and create that environment to create that change, then you may as well not be following anything because you're not likely going to stick to it. So let me know if I'm making sense. Hi, Maggie. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will address them at the end. All right, so another behavior. One thing that I think is really important is kind of going back to the food. Like, if you're going for snacks after dinner, like late time snacking, I think is one of those things that it's a learned behavior. At nighttime, maybe you're hungry, but maybe you're hungry because you didn't eat all day. But if you're just eating out of boredom, whether it's at nighttime or in the middle of the day, on the weekends, and you're just eating out of boredom, that's a behavior. You're not actually feeling hunger. You're just used to eating when there's nothing else to do. So in those situations, I think what's really important is if you used to, like, say, grab the chips and, say, eat in front of the TV and just eat out of the bag, that's something where we need to, okay, go to the chips, take out the portion that we want, put the bag away, then go sit down and have it. Or to even challenge that, I'm going to challenge you to not eat with distraction. I think so many people are eating at their desk, they're eating while they're reading, they're eating while they're watching TV. Eating with distraction is, you're likely going to overeat or choose something that you didn't normally want to have. How many of you, this is so common, like, I didn't really eat anything all day. And then you stop and you think, and you're like, oh, wait, no, I actually did No, I had a sandwich, and then I had a piece of fruit, and I grabbed that protein bar when I was out the door. Oh, wow, I did eat. But at that point, if you didn't stop and think about it, you would have had even more food, right? So it's really important to think about what we're eating, when we're eating, and where we're eating it, and limit those distractions as much as possible. All right. Let's see. One habit and behavior that I think is really helpful is I kind of touched on it when it comes to like meal prep and making sure your food's ready. But I like to have people, like the clients that I work with, I usually tell them to kind of pick your times of when you're going to, whether it's pack your breakfast or pack your lunch. So like I choose to pack my lunch because I create that window in the morning. Like I get up at 5 o'clock every morning, which gives me enough time to do my workout, meditate, take a shower, all the things that I want to do, and pack my lunch for the rest of the day, my lunch and my snacks. So I do it in the morning because it's part of my morning routine. Whereas other people might choose to do it at nighttime. So before they go to bed, make sure they have their lunch packed because maybe they're morning, maybe they have to be at work at 5 a.m. Or maybe they're not a morning person and the mornings for them just are too hard for them to kind of figure out that pocket of time where they're going to have their food prepared. So think about what are your pockets of time where you can best utilize and be consistent with creating a behavior that before you go to bed, you make sure your lunch is packed. Okay? So these are all little things that we can do. So I wanted to talk a little bit about emotional eating because I do believe that's a learned behavior as well. That is definitely another topic I'm going to go into in greater detail. But when it comes to emotional eating, it is a learned behavior, meaning we feel sad, we go to food. We feel pissed off and angry, we go to food. Or the opposite, we're really mad, angry, upset, we don't eat at all. And so we use food as this emotional trigger, and that is a learned behavior. But we can undo that. So the first thing we always need to do is be mindful of what that trigger is, what's targeting that, and then deciding, okay, is this food choice actually going to make the situation better in the long run, or is it just going to help me in the moment and really it actually make me feel worse after the fact? So like I said, I want to talk about emotional eating in greater detail in another episode, but just know that that is a learned behavior and is definitely something that if you work towards it and you're mindful of it, you can overcome it. However, I do strongly advise that if you are an emotional eater, you get yourself a dietitian, maybe even a therapist, get into a system that has a support system because, if it's happening on a regular basis, then you might need a little bit more accountability in that sense. All right. With that being said, emotions can be a trigger, but also locations can be a trigger. Like maybe for you, when you're staying in your kitchen, you just keep wanting to grab and grab and grab, and that's a trigger for you. So get out of the kitchen, right? If you prepare your meals for the family and you leave the food on the table like family style, you're likely to be able to go and grab for seconds or thirds for that matter. So maybe, for the first time, if that's part of your family's tradition, you make your plate, everyone does that, and then bring the food off the table. Or make a mental note to yourself, like, all right, I had my one plate, I'm good. Fair? All right. Okay, any questions or comments? Anything you want me to talk about? All right. I want to make sure I went over everything. All right. So everyone, I'm just going to end with this, and then I'll give you one last update, I believe. So everyone has different habits, behaviors, and routines. Everyone has different things that they need to be working on. I am going to challenge you to rewatch this video if you're just tuning in now, if you didn't watch it from beginning to end, and go through all the things that we spoke about and really try to find what you need to fix most. Is it you eat out of boredom? Is it you eat out of emotion? Is it you go for larger portions regardless if you're hungry or not? Are you not aware of what you're eating? Maybe you're not tracking, and that's why it's kind of pushing you off track. are you sitting a lot and therefore you're not moving? And also too, when we're sitting down and we're not doing anything, we could be thinking about food. We could be surrounded by food. We might be more tempted to overeat. But if we're getting up and out, we're feeling good about ourselves, we're exercising, we might not go to food as often. Okay? So after everything that I've said, I want you to think about what's the one habit and behavior that you can look at on Fix It and Change. Now, there's a really good book on Amazon. It's called Habit Stacking, and it's this belief that we can, focus on one habit, then build the other, then focus on another, then build the other. And that's going to be a better way of us getting to our success than trying to U-haul all these habits and behaviors overnight. So like I said, pick one thing that you need to work on, focus on it, and work on it. If you're needing help or guidance, reach out to me. All right? I am going to end with letting you guys know that I now have a new application process if you do want to work with me. So you would go to my website, go to www.tipswithtony.com, and submit an application there under the Services tab. And it's going to ask you a few questions, and it's going to help me to get to understand you and to figure out if we're really a good fit. Because I really want to work with someone who needs like a high level of accountability, that's kind of done with the quick fixes and really looking to have long-term sustainable, healthy results. All right. So if you're interested in working with me, you're going to go to www.tipswithtony.com, click the Services tab, fill out the application, and I will be in touch with you if I feel like I'll be in touch with you either way, but if I feel like we're a good fit, we'll set up your first strategy call and figure out how we work well together. Okay? Are there any questions? Right. So last comment, I will not be doing a live next Tuesday. I have a really awesome opportunity where I'm going to be giving a live in-person talk to my old high school. They're having a cross-country track meeting, and I was on the track and field team. I threw shot put and discus for them, and they want me to come back and speak and share about how the program kind of helped influence me and supported me, and because they really are a huge support. Like, I didn't run in high school, but I did a half marathon last year. So, and it's because my coach has kept in touch with me and has been a great support system. So I'm really looking forward to providing that talk. If you ever want me to come, if you're in the New York, New Jersey, I'm in Westchester, around that area, and you want me to come talk at your school, at your place of work, send me an email, tipswithtony@gmail.com, and I'd be more than happy to provide a speech regarding nutrition or motivating people to go closer to that healthy lifestyle. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Oh, and then one last update, the Nutrition for Performance workshop will be coming out in June, so stay tuned for that. All right? So that's about it. I try to get these to go to about 30 minutes, but then I'm like, why? If I can get my point across sooner, I'm not going to do that. Yes, I will let you know about that. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I will not see you next week, but I will see you the following Tuesday. All right, guys, have a great night. Bye.